Hello and welcome in. My name is Megan. I'm the CEO and founder of Valkyrie Fitness Nutrition. What I'm going to be walking you through today are some winning clients, right? So people that are absolutely crushing it. And I'm going to show you how and why. Because at the end of the day, my goal for you guys is to be successful inside your fitness journey, whether you do my program or not. But just so that way you can get some brief idea on how people are successful in their fitness journey and what to kind of look for to help you navigate, get better, get stronger, get faster, lose weight, whatever your goals are. So a little bit of background on myself. So I help women first responders, frontline professionals, from people working 36 hours to over 100 hours per week. So really understanding, navigating, kind of pinpointing where these people are struggling and showing them and directing them exactly where they need to go in order to be successful. So we're going to talk about Jamie right now. So Jamie is a law enforcement officer. She's been doing it for 15 years. We talked the other day, she's telling me she's looking to actually switch departments, and if doing so, she's going to have to take another PT test to get in. Now, for her, she's in her 40s. She's got bad knees. So for her, switching career path, career or let's say jobs or different departments, it's a lot, right? You get very comfortable in your space. Not to mention now you have to compete against a younger generation to get picked up. So does she have the skills, the knowledge, all of that? Of course. But they're still going to be looking at you physically, right? So if you are struggling physically, maybe you're already in your career, maybe you're trying to lead into a career, I highly suggest, right, you start pushing yourself, you start getting to that position where you could show up for yourself every single day, physically, mentally, just ready to rock and roll. That's what all these women are doing inside of my program, right? They're there to get results. They're there to better themselves. So Jamie, for instance, right, she started back, I want to say October, or excuse me, late September, so pretty much October. She's already down, right? Our goal was, I think she's wanting to get down to the 130s, so she'll be past the 140s in no time. So for her, it's just breaking these 30 pounds, which is, in my opinion, super easy for her. She's already hitting her numbers 46% of the time. Some days she's up past the 50%. So why do I mention this? So my goal for my clients is to hit this around the 60% mark, right? That's how I can understand and see guaranteed that they're going to actually get results. If they waver here and there, I could still predict where they're going to kind of end up. But for most of them, my goal for them is 60% of the time. So if you're struggling with your nutrition, that's the first place to look. If you're not hitting your targets 60% of the time, and I have a lot of people who believe oh, I'm tracking every day, I'm doing this, I'm actually eating really well, blah blah blah. They're not, because when I look at it and I show them look, this is where you're currently at and this is where you need to get to be. I'll show them if I have clients inside the program who may not be hitting the targets they want to hit or seeing the results that they want, I'll show them other clients who are in the same profession as them, reaching their goals fairly quickly. Sometimes I'll look for similar weights, so that way they can see here's how they're doing it to help them, right? Same thing with you. If you are struggling to hit your targets, to see results, to see weight loss, you're probably not hitting your goals as often as you believe. So take a step back, look through your history, if you're tracking, if you're not. I highly suggest doing it. That's how I was able to shift and change my body composition in 70 days. It took me 70 days of consistency to go from looking super soft to putting muscle on, trimming down, losing fat in specific areas. And for me, it happened really quick because I was consistent. That's where you need to kind of shift and change. If you're how can I be consistent? I work, X amount of hours. She's also working a ton of hours too. So I always tell people excuses are the first way for you to stay exactly where you are. So all the people inside my program, they are not filling everything up with excuses. They're just putting in the work. They're putting in the effort, right? They invested into a program to help them. They needed the blueprint. They got the blueprint. Now it's just put it into action. So Jamie, she's hitting her numbers 46% of the time now. We didn't keep her. I just recently changed her macros because I wanted to help her get to her results a lot quicker. So for her, we started her up a lot higher in macros and numbers and calories, and we still I dropped her down recently. Why is that important? Because most people are starting out too low in their macros. I have a client, I just interviewed her yesterday, Anna. I'm going to pull her up too. She literally, we were eating like over 2,000 calories. And for her, like, we have so much runway. She's already dropped 10 pounds in a few short weeks. Like, she's just going to keep going. She's going to hit her targets before we're even done her program. And I had that happen a lot with people. Like, they'll drop like 30, 40 pounds before the end of the program. So then we're just kind of like chilling towards the end, like trying to see if we can get past maintenance, like just giving them a little bit of a diet break sometimes too. So that stuff is important. Like, trying to lose as fast as possible, my opinion, is not the most important thing. It's like, how can we do this consistently and accurately and reasonably, sustainably, all that fun stuff, because at the end of the day, if you can't do it like that, it's going to be really hard. So, Jamie, she's working out like 4 or 5 days a week. For her, like, I'll scroll down real quick, show you like the first week, but she comes in like, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 days. But not always. Like, if we roll through, I got like some mobility and stuff in there for her. But like, she's not hitting every single week. Like, she's averaging like 4 days a week. So I want you guys to understand, if you're going balls to the wall, and I'll say it, like balls to the wall, like in the first like couple of days that you're starting out, and then you just immediately fall off, it's too much for you. But a lot of people, we start them out where they are, and then we build them up from there. So she was already active. Like, she was already exercising. I have a lot of people that come to me that are already pretty active. Like, they're not like where they want to see themselves, but they're like, yeah, I work out every single like day, or I work out like 5 days a week, 6 days a week, but I'm not actually seeing the results I want. So we kind of find out what it is that's causing that, and then we help like shift, change, manipulate some goals for them, so they can already just go in that direction. That's what a lot of people need. They need direction. Because people will say to me, oh, I like work out with a friend's going to help me like this. Your friend doesn't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand that. A lot of times you're downloading apps and ebooks, like, that stuff is not going to tell you or look and see the data behind everything to help you shift and change and get through the results as quickly as possible. And we're pretty honest with people. Like, listen, you're going to see results like based off of like these numbers. Like, I can predict like where you're going or where you're going to see yourself by the end of this, like in the next couple weeks, week by week. Like, it's all comes down to tracking. Like, I can see everything. So can my coaches. Like, my coaches have been in the space for a really long time. So that's how I know like Jamie's going to be past that 140 mark probably in like 2 weeks. So like, it's very simple and easy for the implementation. What's not easy for a lot of people is like actually staying consistent and putting in action. That's why we have accountability coaches, right? That's why I have 2 coaches that are on the people to check in with them to make sure they're good, like making sure you're showing up for yourself. Like, we can't show up to your house. I tell people that too. Like, if you need someone to show up to your house, you're not ready to start anything. Like, you're really not. I'll be straight up honest. You are not ready. Because if you need someone to be like, hey, can you get up and do this because it's your goals that you want to succeed in, like, you are just going to stay stuck. I'm real sorry, but I want you to understand, like, these people who are successful wake up every day and go, like, I have a goal, I'm going to reach it. And we make sure we dive into, like, mindset training, shifts, changes, like, showing them exactly where they need to go so we can ensure, like, they're headed in the right direction. But if you're someone that needs, like, someone to hold their hand every single day, you're never going to, like, there's no coaching program out there that's going to help you. You have to want it. You have to show up for yourself. So just be very mindful of that. All right, I'm going to pull Anna up really quick so you can take a look at hers. All right, so Anna's been in a couple weeks. We have her, like, doing home workouts, some gym. She also has knee mobility inside of her program, too. Now, reason being is because she also has bad knees, right? She has been a paramedic for a really long time, and your body takes a toll, right? So Anna came to me. She's at 187. We're already into the 170s. I told her, like, the other day, like, at this rate, she's going to hit her targets. She wanted to come in, be between, like, 160, 170. So we'll be at that before she knows it. So for, like, our goal is going to be, like, hitting that, like, and then working towards, like, whether we want to continue to move down or stay at a bit of a maintenance. So that's the cool thing about this, is, like, we're able to kind of pinpoint where you see yourself, where you're at your goals, and then where to kind of go from there. So you can kind of understand what to do too, right? We're not here to hide anything from clients. Like, we tell them exactly what they need to do to be successful. Now, for instance, like, she's at 1869, right? So if I go to her stuff, she's hitting her numbers 50% of the time, which is awesome. We started her at like almost 2,100 calories. So again, like, she has been absolutely on point with this stuff. Like, I showed her what to do, how to hit her numbers, based off the foods that she's already eating, right? I have over 300 meal guides for these clients if they want to use it. Like, a lot of times, this is what I find too. Like, people gets, and I'm like going through stuff because I want to like go through myths and things like that and what people think that they need in a program, but actually don't. So I hear this a lot. Like, I need someone to tell me what to eat every single day. Actually, you need to learn how to eat the foods that you already enjoy. That way, when you are eating whatever you want, you know how much to eat or how little to eat, and vice versa. So, like I said, the clients get over 300 meal guides, and we actively show them how to manipulate foods for their goals based on whatever they want. Like, you could check out Anna's client interview, but for instance, like with her, she's like, I was afraid that when I first came in this, I was going to be told like I can't eat this and I can only eat this. And to her surprise, that never once happened. Like, no one was like, "Ooh, you can't eat that." Now, like for instance, if you are chugging soda every single day, yeah, as a coach, we're gonna be like, "Hey, by the way, like that's not good. Like that's not healthy." Because of all the sugar intake, and if you eliminate that, which I've had clients like, completely get rid of caffeine or sugar. They've increased their energy levels. So all this stuff comes into like showing them, seeing it, right? Sometimes you have to see your own stuff for your own eyes. And that really unlocks something inside of people's brains and go, oh, okay, like this coach is telling me like this is exactly what I need to eat. This is why like I'm not seeing any weight loss. This is how to get to those results a lot faster. And then progressing forward after that. So showing you step by step on how to continue to improve. So again, Anna's around like very similar to Jamie, like around 50% of the time. I tell clients, if you can meet us like halfway, like I usually say 60% of the time in the past 30 days is like the gold standard. But if you guys can meet us halfway, then you will 100% see results. When people are under like the 40% mark inside of like their nutrition goals, like the goal for us is to help them increase that, right? To improve. If they're lower than that, it's going to be really hard for them to see results. Now, we're not saying you have to hit your numbers 100% of the time, right? That's like impossible. I can't even do that. So I want you to understand, like, if you just show up for yourself half the amount of time, you're going to see results. You're going to get there. So if you have no clue, everything in your weight loss, fitness journey, strength, seeing muscle is numbers. Everything is numbers, and once you understand the numbers, you cannot not understand it, right? It's very straightforward after that. So I always tell people, like, if you see what you're doing, you have a good layout on it, like you can get those results a lot faster than if you're just winging it. I hear it all the time, well, I'm eating healthy. Well, do you know what you're eating? How much you're eating? Do you understand like what the values are in each macro, like where you're going? Are you consistently hitting numbers? Like, what does that look like? And they go, oh, I don't know. So that's like one of the first steps is like seeing where you're at. And if you have no idea how to hit those numbers, I have a training, like, obviously it's a paid training, but I recently did a workshop where I went over my fat burner blueprint, like, from A to Z. So if that's something you want, like, DM the word blueprint to my Instagram. I'll have, like, an automation set out. It's going to send you the link for it. You can buy it. So I'll walk you exactly through it. So if you're crushing your workouts, you have no idea what to do with your nutrition, like, that'll walk you through that. So check that out. But back to this is the consistency, right? Anna, like, she was working out, but she just wasn't seeing the results she wants. So let's take a look at her pictures real quick. So let me view all. All right, so let's go back down to day one. So Anna came in, like, she was like, I just don't like my body composition. I'm getting a stomach. Like, I don't feel strong in my lifts. I keep getting injured at work doing, lifting heavy people. As we know, most people, I will say, if you're a paramedic, EMS, firefighter, and you're picking people up, like, they're weighing way over 200 pounds. So you have to be strong in these professions. She just wasn't feeling strong. She wasn't liking her body composition. So, like, as we progress forward, like, she did a little flexing ones too. So we can kind of see that towards the end. But right, like, this is like within like our first group of pictures, you can already tell the difference in her stomach, you know what I mean? So boom, getting there, and then we just keep sliding forward, and she's losing more and more and more. So you could see it in her back, you could see it in her sides, you could see it in her stomach. Like, she's gonna have, in the next couple of weeks, she's gonna have a flat stomach. So very, very mindful of the training. She's not doing anything hard. She's having days where she's working out at home if she wants. So we're making things work for her because she has 12 plus hour shifts, right? A lot of you guys that are watching this are probably in the same position. So let's pull another client up real quick. All right, let's talk Steph. So Steph is a firefighter. She's hitting her numbers 58% of the time. You know what I mean? We've edited her stuff so she can go down a little bit more before she got done the program. But when we first started, she was eating 2,000 calories. You see what I mean? Like, when it comes down to, like, runway, you have to start more. She could have continued to lose weight in, like, this, like, 1,800, 1,700, 1,600 spot, but she just wanted to progress a lot quicker. So we work together in conjunction. Like, I'm not changing things unless we're speaking to the clients beforehand, and they're understanding, like, what the next move is, where it's going to go, like, how do they feel. So she's hitting her numbers 60% of the time in the past 30 days, right? So you're probably going, oh, like, you know, how's she looking, right? So, like, that's where she is back in, what is that, October? So where we started out to where she is now, she's come a really long way, right? She's already getting definition in her abs, right? So I always tell people too, our bodies will lose. You can see the definition in her legs coming through too. So I'll have to see what her updated pictures look like. Tomorrow's her last day. But she is already down, she's down weight, you know what I mean? She went from 180 to 168. Honestly, for her, it wasn't losing, like, she wasn't really concerned too much of the scale, more so like how her body composition looks. So we're working in conjunction with that, getting her in a really good place. She's a firefighter, so she's like, I don't really care about the scale. I just want to be strong. I want to feel good. I want to, you know, see, like, the muscle definition. So I don't care about the number. I just want to see, like, my body change. And that's what we've been doing. So I'm actually excited to see her last day of photos as well. And then how that kind of looks too. But I just want you guys to understand that all this stuff, like, there's a method to the madness, right? There's always a method to things. And we tell clients too that some people will be like, I need you to change my macros. I'm not losing weight. I need you, but their numbers don't look like this, right? And we have to get them to that place first before they can move forward to the second phase. And that's like getting them, first is consistency. Second is like, okay, let's breaking past like that scale mark and then moving forward and then changing things and adjusting things as they go forward. So again, like, another really big issue we see with people is they're not hitting their numbers, are not accurate with their workouts, or they're not, like, plugging stuff in. So we can't change anything until they start being consistent there. And, like, that builds it up, right? It goes back to accountability, showing you exactly what to do. If you're someone that's an action taker and can do, like, this stuff, like, you will 100% see results. And based off, like, how on point you are with yourself and, like, pushing yourself, like, we're here to help you, answer any questions, keep you accountable, like, show you what to do. If you can, like, do this, like, if you can just, you know, stay consistent like this, then, like I said, like, there is no reason you wouldn't see results in this program. We have got people down, like, 20 pounds in 6 weeks. So it just always depends on, like, how quickly you want to move. And if you want to move quickly, then we'll get you there quickly. If you want to, you know, take it one step at a time because you're new to something, then we take people one step at a time. But at the end of the day, like, if you show up for yourself, like I said, you'll 100% be able to see results. So, like, people like Steph, Anna, Jamie, like, they're moving forward. I have a bunch of other clients that are in the same position. I just wanted to show 3 besides, like, going through, like, a whole bunch. Another thing too is, like, we don't have thousands of clients in this program. There's a reason, right? We know individually each and every person, what they do for work, what their family life's like, what their schedule looks like, how many hours per week they work. We know exactly what's going on, so that way we know how to tailor their program around that. Because it's not around them, then it's going to be really difficult. Now, what happens when they're done the program? Like, they're able to access my Fit for Life formula, which means they'll have access to know exactly how to progress forward after they're done. They know how to, like, manipulate their own movements. They know how to change their own nutrition, right? We're teaching them this stuff inside of, like, their check-ins. We're teaching them inside of, like, videos just like this inside of their program, so they know exactly what to do. But I want you guys to be very understanding and mindful too. Like, Steph is not a tall person. That's how I was able to drop her down to around, like, 1,500 calories. So understand, she's like 5'3". So we started her off, like, very, very high and progressed her downward in her numbers. So that's another thing too, is, like, all your macros, like, you guys might be seeing like these people's like where their weight is and what their macros are, but if you don't know their height and their weight and their activity level, then it's gonna be, you can't really, yeah, that's why I tell people you have to understand like how to break down your own macros too. And that's what we teach everyone, is how to do this stuff on their own. And guess what? They have another space after their program's done inside of a client-only Facebook group where they can ask questions when they're done with it, right? We're not coaching them actively, but if they go, hey, like, can you check my macros real quick? Or, hey, like, I have a question. They can drop it in the group, and myself, a team member, maybe even another client will answer it for them so they can continue to progress forward. So, again, like all the tools are here, the blueprints here, the roadmaps here. You just have, like, they just have, you have to, if you're a client, any program, right? If a program isn't working, then there's something inside the program that needs to be tweaked and adjusted. And typically what we find is it's usually direction for people. Like, if they're not getting the direction, they're not going to be successful. So understand that too. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, you want to learn more about, like, I can go through the back ends of the programs. I could show you guys everything, which I pretty much do, because at the end of the day, like, I'm pretty open as a coach in what we do inside. I don't want to have any, like, surprises for people. You know, I go over every single thing in a consultation. That's another thing too, is like, if you want to join this program, don't like just be like, how much is your program? How much is this? How much is that? I don't even know if we can help you. That's a big part of this, is like understanding, like, I've told people before, like, I can't help you. Sorry, this isn't a good fit. Like, no, I can't. You're not ready yet, or vice versa. Like, I don't think like you're physically capable yet, because people have really bad injuries and stuff like that too. And we don't want to, I'm not here to just to take people's money. I'm here to help people. That's why I started this program, was to help women who were in the same position as me, right? Feeling like not liking their body composition, not liking how they're performing, feeling drained, low energy levels. Like, women inside my program are feeling completely different. Stepping foot in a program in like the first couple of weeks, like, we are getting them into a new place, right? It's like having that brain fog lift for everything. And at the end of the day, we can give you exactly what to do, but you have to be the one to implement. And I will say that, and I will say it over again. Like, I even know in my consultations, if I feel like someone's not going to do it, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, let me help you. Like, we can help you. Like, if I feel like they're not going to be someone that's actually going to do the work, I'll be like, maybe this isn't a good fit for you right now. Maybe down the road when you're 100% ready. So just understand that, like, this is a program for people who are in, you know, physically, mentally, and financially, right? Like, this is an investment inside of your health. And if you're not ready to invest in yourself either, then again, like, it's going to be really hard for you to stick with, to want to do it. You have to be ready to jump into that. So this is something that interests you. If you want, like, the blueprint, the roadmap, exactly show you how to reach your goals, not just like inside of the short months that we work together, but also for a lifetime, you know, ability to get like lifetime updates, lifetime, you know, help inside the fitness group. So if that's something you want, you can go on my Instagram. I'll link it at the bottom. DM the word fit frontliner. I'll send you over a video, like, explaining even more. If you don't need that, just be like, fit frontliner, like, can we book a time to talk? That way we can schedule a consultation. I can learn a lot more about you. It's a lot easier than going back and forth in the DMs, and it actually, like, we can sit down and figure out what you need to move forward. So, all right, so like I said, I just hit on 3 like really good clients who are being successful inside this program, a ton more. But I just want you guys to get like an inside scoop on how things work, how we adjust things, how we change things. Each person is completely different. Like, Steph's working out. She actually works out a lot more. We were working on VO2 max for a hot minute too. She had to pass the test. So she got some endurance training that was in here. We're working out, like, you know, right here you can see some stuff. So having that endurance training in there, we were also like including some shoulder mobility. She was doing rucks and just getting really, really strong for her her profession. So again, if you want something like that, then this is the program for it. All right. So any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram. And like I said, great. Thanks for watching. If there's anything you guys need in particular that you're not sure about, just like I said, just reach out.